Good morning, everyone. Blessings. This talk is about the third eye. Call it the spiritual eye. The eye that you can see everything through one single vision. Simplicity is the key to life. The center line concept is our ultimate protection because everything is controlled and expressed from the center, the inside out. And what I want to focus on is that lost concept, which is that single vision. I want to start with a prayer. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All my life I have fought to overcome certain adversities that were placed on you based upon circumstances that we all come up in. And as a child, all the negative things that happened to me, it was hard. And I did try to find other ways and means outside myself to keep on saying, F it. Forget it, don't care, don't matter. I always continue to do whatever I can possibly do to please other people. I learned in the program of recovery that I was a great people pleaser. I did whatever I can do to make you happy, even if it caused me more pain. It's sad that I did that because when I went to jail, I realized that I had to learn self-love. I had to take care of self. I had to make sure I built a zone of protection that protected that center line so I can be able to see what my true vision is and what my true purpose is. That true purpose in life for me is always to help and empower other people. That true purpose to me is always to be polite, regardless of what point I want to make, what I want to say. I always try to be conscious of how I say it, when I say it, and how I do it. Trying to achieve and break through something and make my point in the sake of hurting other people is ignorance. I did that all my life. I used to use drugs and I used to beat people up with pistols and guns and do all those things and baseball bats and call people every bad name you can possibly think of. Some of them not even in the book. And I got a kick from that because I was intoxicated. Today as I live, I don't want to destroy other people. I don't want to beat down other people. I want peace. I want harmony. I want happiness because that's what my mom always strived for. She was a loving, caring person. She would feed the whole neighborhood. She believed in self-love. She believed in helping other people. Her only problem was that she never got that love back in return. I worked my butt off near the last couple of years when she was passing away to show her how much I loved her and how much I appreciate her. And I do the exact same thing for my dad today. So what I would say to anybody, learn to love yourself, man. I used to hate being a black person. I used to hate my hair. I used to hate how I felt. I used to hate, the things that life had dealt me. I used to hate everything about me. And that's why I did what I did. I'm not going to say that because I was tough. That's why I was dreaming. That dream that I fell in love with martial arts was the only thing that gave me freedom. It was the only thing that allowed me to stand up and even speak to you today. And that's the greatest lesson I can give anyone. Don't allow no one, especially no human being, no other human being on this planet. That's why the creed said, respect the laws of mankind and live by the laws of the universal creator. I wish I can claim to be that smart, that intelligent, that in control. No, I'm just a child of God. And I know that God has done for me what I cannot do for myself. If I can share any lesson with any of you, always move from the center. When your center is rabbled, when your center and your butterflies in your belly is so overwhelming, you got to stop for a minute and grab them and hold it like a baby and caress it and make it become a single thought, a single emotion. We got to remember, feelings are not facts, but it is a fact that we have feelings. And when we let feelings control our outer reactions, we end up responding and reacting. Now, I'm not even going to say responding. Let's eliminate responding, because when emotions drive you and make you do things, that's a reaction. And when you react, you lose. When you react, you can't control anything. When you react, it just creates so much tension. I know what that tension was. Every time I pulled out a gun and I wanted to shoot at someone or I wanted to hurt someone. I mean, when I was so low, you can't even go any lower than what I was. When I was so low, I know what it felt like. I know the relapse that I felt inside my own spirit. Even when I get in arguments and confrontations with people, the recovery process of that, even today, is so devastating. I don't want it. I just want peace. I just want harmony. I just want a rhythmic flow for success so I can have a joyful expression inside myself for just doing the very best that I can possibly do. No one on this planet, no human being on this planet has the power to truly know or to be right or even pass judgment on anyone else. I don't care how much education they have. I don't care how spiritual they are. You do not know what God's intentions are for any individual. All we can do is support and guide and help other people. But most importantly, we have to do that for ourselves. No child, no one should have to go through hell to find out that at the end of the day, to thy own self be true. On the back of the AA chip, it says, to thy own self be true. Be true. Remember, the greatest wealth that you have in life is what you done already been through. The things that you have overcome is the greatest wealth in life. Don't ever let nobody tell your story. Don't ever let anybody cut off your story. That's why in the program they call it no crosstalk. You can't crosstalk other people. You shouldn't. It just brings about conflict. Life is not about conflict. It's about harmony. It's about happiness. It's about peace. If we don't find that, you're going to meet some people who their whole life is plagued about ignorance, anger, frustration, kill, destroy, F the world. When you meet those people, then you done met your match, because guess what? They gonna win. That's that predator to wake up every morning with nothing but anger, frustration, and they blame the world. I don't want to be that person. I came close to being that person. That's not the person I want to be. What I want to be is a person that learned how to express themselves. We don't always know what to do, but we know what not to do. Anything that brings about those negative emotions and those relapses of emotions that are so overwhelming that they just paralyze you where you can't move. You cannot repeat those things if you want peace, harmony, and happiness. The greatest battle to me is when I avoid conflict. At the same time, when my weakness today is sticking to what I believe. I'm 55 years old, so guess what? I done been through things where, guess what? They're just repetition. When you don't learn kicks, punches, you realize that it just goes back to a front kick's a front kick, a side kick's a side kick. You just learn different ways. People learn creative ways to express all those things. But at the core of it, give me the basics. Give me the foundation. Tell me, let me look at the foundation of that I'm going to build this house on. Once I understand that all foundations are the same, if it's deeply rooted, and if that soil and that land is safe and wholesome, then whatever you build on are going to be strong. It's the same thing in life. We cannot allow ourselves to be like manipulated and overwhelmed by other people's interpretations of the facts and experience. The facts and experience are all the same. If you love people, love them and express your love to them with passion. Connect to them. Remember that the individual is always more important than whatever external thing, bling, whatever is going on. It's that individual. Show love. You can call it sales pitch. You can call it good customer service. Nah, in the hood, you always treated everybody. I don't care how low they were. You treat them with respect. You know that some people then made choices in life that then brought devastating consequences, but you don't make them feel less than. Be conscious of what you say to yourself and you repeat back to yourself. Oh, I used to call myself a product of my environment. I ain't no product of my environment. I'm a product of God. So I can't label myself as a product of my environment. I would not let someone with some education and some religious method, I don't care who you are, you're no better than me. When we wake up in the day, the only thing that separates us from one another is the one that push harder and the one that surrenders to God and asks God to guide you and show you your will and your way. Always be prepared. Never be unprepared. Never go on social media or other people's interpretation of knowledge. That's another form of slavery. The greatest thing you can do is find out the source of the knowledge. Go to that source of that knowledge and allow that knowledge to complement your own experiences. And then guess what? You will always stand on that truth. And at the end of the day, when it's time to go home back to the Creator, you can go home in peace. Like when my mom passed away, she went home in peace because she knew that it was time to go home, and she had accepted that she did her very best with the life that she leads today. So move from your third eye. Remember, the third eye is that spiritual eye. Is that center. Even in fighting, we always protect the center. We strike from the center. The shortest distance between you and your opponent is a straight line. That's success. That's life. That's everything. Do not allow emotions in the outside world to affect your inner world. The greatest gifts, it took me a long time. I don't ever want to go back through that anymore. To realize that the greatest gift that I have is already inside of me. Grab that gift. Hold on for that gift. Fight for that gift. Fight for that peace. Let no one destroy it. And that's all I have to say. As I end in a word of peace, God once again grant us the serenity. Please let us understand those words to accept the things we cannot change. There are things that we cannot change. I don't care who you are, what your education are, where you come from, whatever you think you are. There are some things you cannot change. The courage to change the things we can. There are things that we can change. Please allow us to change those things, God. We beg of you. We plead with you. In the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom is your time, is your failure, is your experience. Can't nobody take that away from you. That's your story. That's your wealth. That's my $9 billion dream. And I will do whatever it takes. If you're going to say, what will you die for? Well, I will die for my conscious contact with God, because I know if I cannot be true to myself and my connection to God, then I'm nothing. I don't care what my education is. I don't care how much money I got. I don't care how many rewards I got. I don't care who I think I am. I know what I had to go through to get to where I'm at right now. And the greatest gift that I can have is to remember the things that I'm saying. Third eye. See the world through your third eye, your center. God is good. Be blessed.